to the very final part of our melody Cardi. We are going to do the finishing touches on our wonderful color. And it is honestly very simple, but I will show you. So basically, do you see how these pointy are going up or down? It's a little bit irritating. So to try and make sure that this doesn't happen and stays as straight as possible without having to blocking, we are going to do a final round, a final row, and it is extremely easy. So you will get back now with your bigger size hook, and I will meet you here. I'll grab my yarn and we are ready to start. Okay, so we are now ready to start on a very final row. So you are going to grab your melody Cardi and make sure that the wrong side is facing you. You're wondering maybe why the wrong side? I'll show you now, I'll demonstrate. Because the color, the bit that will show is like this, and so for us that means that when you straighten it out, the wrong side will be facing. You see, we are going to have the cardigan on the wrong side, and we are going to work purely on the collar, not the button band, just the collar. Okay, so let's grab our yarn and crochet hook and let's get started. Okay, so you need to make sure that the wrong side is facing you. You see, this is the seam that you get from the shoulder. You need to make sure that this is facing you. And we are ready to start. I've already done my slip knot on my crochet hook. And we are ready to join a yarn. And where are we going to do this? I will show you that now. You will join a yarn between the button band and the collar. You see there's like an intersection here. So you want to make sure that you're going to join the yarn right here, where the collar actually starts. Okay, so join your yarn with a slip knot, just like so. And now what we're going to do is a series of slip stitches all the way to the end of here. And how we're going to do that is you're going to do a slip stitch at the end of every row that you did here, and make sure that you do them nice and loose, not tight, okay, because otherwise it will bunch up. So the next one that we want to go in is into here. You can see that there are little holes there, and then here, then here, and then here. So in every single end of the row you're going to do a slip stitch, you see, just like so. But make sure they are nice and loose. You really don't want to make them, you know, too tight. So let's do that. You see, this is the hole there, and the next hole is right here. So you do another slip stitch. Let's see, and you are creating the edge, as you can see. It's very difficult to, you know, to tell with the same color, but I think you can see. And hopefully this will, you know, this will straighten out the color, and it will not be as, you know, sticking out or whatever. So let's do this. We'll do this until the end of here, and then I will show you what to do at the corner. So I will let you carry on and I'll meet you back in a moment. Okay, so I now completed this row and I'm now at the corner, at the first corner, and we're only going to do 2 corners. So the first corner, when you're there, you flip it around so that now you've got this row here. And this one is easier because you're going to work a slip stitch in every single stitch. So you're going to start with working a corner, which is very, very simple. Let's see if I can zoom in. Okay, so in the very first stitch of your row, right here, you are going to do a slip stitch. Slip stitch. And because we're working a corner, you're going to chain 1 and do another slip stitch into the same stitch. Just like so. And now, it's very easy. You're going to do a slip stitch in every single stitch, and remember, don't do them too tight. You're going to do that until you get to the next corner. Simply some slip stitches. Just like so. You see, it does give a nice edge, doesn't it? So I will meet you at the second corner and I will show you what to do. So see you in a little moment. So here we are. I have now finished this row and I'm at my second corner. You can see the edge, right? It's nice and pretty neat. So now that we are at our second corner, I've got my very last stitch right here. So in that very last stitch of the row, I'm going to do, of course, a slip stitch. Slip stitch. And because it is a corner, we're going to chain 1 and do a slip stitch into the same stitch. So now we are ready to flip this and we are working onto our final little side here. And we're going to do a slip stitch at the end of every single row. And this, excuse me, I can't talk anymore. This really shouldn't take long. So let's start. You see, you can see when it is the end or beginning of a row. Here's 1, then there's 1, then there's 1, and so on and so forth. I'm sure that you'll be able to see that on your cardigan. So let's work a series of slip stitches at the end of every single row. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It is such an awkward piece to hold in front of the camera, and even the camera is struggling now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's do this at the end of every single row. We're nearly finished, look. See, just a few more. So you know what, I will finish that with you. So, let's carry on. Just a few more now. This is super exciting because this is the end of the cardigan. Yes, it is. Okay. And now we are at the end here. You see where the button band is meeting the collar. So you are going to do a final slip stitch right here where the seam is. Do you see? This is the seam. Don't know if you can see the seam here between the shoulder, well, for the shoulder between the back and the front panel. Okay? It does shape the shoulder. I hope I'm explaining okay. My goodness, my words seem to be going at the moment. As soon as I switch the camera on, it's frustrating. So into here, you're going to do your very final slip stitch. And you are now ready to slip the yarn. And guess what? You're done. You just have to weave in your ends. And so let's take a look at the color. Okay, so let's take a look at the color. Now see, I still have my ends here, but it doesn't really matter. So get your cardigan and fasten maybe a couple of buttons. Yes, I still have to weave in my ends, but that doesn't matter. Let's hide them inside for now. And now let's put our color just like so. And I think it does help to keep the color nicely in shape. Let's see if I can zoom out. Yes, there we are. Here's the ends. We don't want to see the ends. Let's hide that. Yeah, I really think it works a little bit, at least, you know. And also, I do like a nice little edging. It makes it just a little bit better, right? Rather than seeing the ends of rows. Now you have a nice little edging. You see? Yes, pretty neat. Okay, so that's it really. This concludes the end of the cardigan. It is all done. So I can't wait to see you wearing it. And oh, please send me a picture. Thank you so much. So I will no doubt be talking to you very soon.